My name is Mion Praise, a student of Fountain High Secondary School. I'm here for the program Girl Summit in commemoration of the International Day of the Girl Child. I'm happy to be here today because I have an expectation, which is for every girl child to be able to be given the opportunity to lead. And also, I hope that by what the speakers will have to say, I will get something that will inspire me in my academics and in life, and also to face life challenges. Thank you.
Today we are commemorating the 2025 International Day of the Girl Child, and this year we are also looking at what we call Girls Shaping Tomorrow, Girls Leadership and Her Digital Power. And this theme reminds us that girls are not just beneficiaries of development, but they are designers of the future themselves.
As we celebrate the next generation, which you all represent, of female leaders, shaping tomorrow through innovation and creativity and digital power. So at Wema Bank, we believe that leadership begins with access to knowledge, access to technology, and access to opportunity. And through Sarah by Wema, we empower women, we empower young girls to build confidence, to pursue their ambition, and to create sustainable livelihoods.
Let's invest in digital education, safety and access, especially for girls in rural areas. To civil society and private sector, let's create mentorship programs like the ones that we have going on right now, digital literacy like Wema Bank has going on, and leadership programs that don't just train girls but transform them. When we invest in a girl, we invest in a nation's progress. Say that after me. When we invest in a girl, we invest in a...
It is our pleasure to have you all join us today. Again, welcome. Thank you.
And we have a panel session. And panel session is very, very dear to my heart as well, because panel session is speaking about bridging the gender divide. I usually will start to say that, let me speak from the technology sector, which is where I play. There is a gap, a very huge gap. And I know if there is a gap in the technology sector, which is one of the most, allow me for lack of better word, challenging environment for a lot of women to be in. I'm also certain that there are gaps in the health sector. There is gap around inclusion of women and girls. And so this session is a panel session where we have ogbonge and amazing individuals that will be on this panel as well. And we'll be hearing how they are bridging the divide in their respective sector.
When girls lead, the world changes, and technology is definitely an enabler in making that happen. And so in terms of my opening thoughts, I'll just like to emphasize the fact that technology has such an important role to play. It has an important role to play, especially in the education sector, and we've heard from some of the good speakers why this is so critical. Technology really helps to accelerate some access, helps to accelerate learning, and helps to accelerate just progress, essentially. And as you know, in Nigeria today, 50% of our population is women. And out of that percentage, obviously, is the next generation of girl children. And so closing the digital divide is absolutely critical, really. We've talked about the girls in the room not just being future leaders of tomorrow, but being leaders of today. And so my focus is, or my focus and my thinking and my contribution to this conversation is essentially emphasizing the point that technology really is a lever for accelerating education, for accelerating access, for being a global connector of resources. And so it's critical that if 50% of our population are women and girls, we must make the needed investments. We must work together to co-create solutions that are digitally relevant to enable access and access that is safe. So,
I mean, from your perspective, how do you see financial institutions helping? So beyond Wema Bank, what do you think they are doing to ensure that women and girls have access to, better tools, infrastructures, platform, services that would, cushion the effect to ensure that women participate fully in the economy?
I just want to talk about Wema Bank, a couple of product or platforms that we have provided. The first one is the Sarah by Wema platform. Sarah by Wema platform is one that caters to women from an empowerment perspective, from training perspective, from providing access to finance. And we have been able to do that
through various initiatives, through various partnership, and we're very happy about the impact that we're seeing there. Additionally, we have also launched a particular app that we call the Alert Explore. I'm sure I have a lot of my colleagues around here today that will be talking to you later on about Alert Explore. But Alert Explore is very special, and it's one that is targeted at teenagers. And exactly what it is that we're trying to do. You know, when it comes to financial independence, it starts with from the context of planning. So planning means that you even need to understand budgeting. You need to understand what it means to save. You need to understand what instant gratification means versus what delayed gratification means. And for young girls, your parents are the ones today paying your school fees and all of that. And sometimes as young girls, you probably also find yourself in families where whether for reasons that are their fault or not their fault, or maybe for planning or not, or maybe because they did not plan, you sometimes may not even may not be able to get your school fees paid. Yeah. So what it is that we're trying to do with Alert Explore is helping young minds to begin to understand the element of what financial independence is all about, from the knowledge that you require, from understanding how to plan, from understanding how to budget. And these are platforms that when you are exposed to it, you interact with it, it helps to really be able to close some of the digital divide that we're talking about.
When all of our projects and policies are designed from the ground up to include inclusion, right, to have inclusion in them, not as an addendum, not from the charity model, like, okay, we've done this, let's just include persons with disabilities. But when programs, projects, policies are designed with inclusion from the ground up, it becomes easy, right, to include persons with disability. And in delivery, right, we can then optimize the delivery to ensure that it's accessible to all things, to everyone. First would be, in terms of now the breaking all of that down, first would be community-based projects, right? If it would cost a girl, let's say 1,000 naira to get to this place today, for a person with disability it will cost maybe about 3,000 to 5,000, depending on the cluster of disability the person has. So that means that already provides a barrier for girls to access the existing programs, which means that we must take some of this program to where the girls are. They are currently in their communities. They are currently in inclusive schools, right? We have a number of inclusive schools in Lagos State, right? So the projects, the programs, the interventions, the solutions has to, we have to take it to them so that it is in the first state readily accessible for them. I know that we currently do a project called the Sabi Woman Project in partnership with Sight Savers and UNICEF, where we are going to the schools themselves to provide some form of training. And it comes with a sort of mentorship, because there has to be representation. Girls with disability have to see that there are girls out there, there are other girls, both girls with disability and without disability, doing the things or showing that things are possible, right? So there has to be that form of mentorship from women and girls that have succeeded in certain things, that have overcome certain barriers, who are modeling that to them. There's also the issue of the affordability, that the two speakers have spoken about, and I've stressed that in the cost of disability, right? So that has to be, and then finally our educational programs has to be digitally inclusive from the ground up, so that digital accessibility is not something they have to then come to learn, but as they are learning the basics, they are learning it through the digital space.
Thank you. I mean, you everyone who has spoken thus far have mentioned something consistently. While you're building, you also have to build with the people in mind.
Please, when I call you, please just remain seated. We're just appreciating you till we get to the top 3. Are we ready? The competition was the creative competition, and it was an initiative to create and to give access to girls to have their talent expressed. The third place will be calling on Oreoluwa Ogunshola. come and collect your third place prize. It is not easy. Where is that stand up for the child? Oh, let's reserve it. For the second place, Khadija Al Hazan. Let's appreciate her. There were so many close ties. So at this point, our first place goes to Nusayba Abdul Hakim. Whoop, 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 whoop. As she's going with a laptop to amplify her digital prowess. Woo! Congratulations, darling.
Now it's just who wants it.
You people should do ba 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 ba.
So you should clap for yourself one more time. Secondly, I want to say a very wonderful thank you to all our speakers today, to our sponsor, to Wema Bank for giving us this wonderful space and for also supporting us, to our keynote speaker, and also specifically to TVC Communication. Beyond the fact that they supported us, they actually, you would see that wonderful jota that they also gave to everyone and the publicity that they also gave to this event. We want to say a very big thank you. Thank you to Tech for Dev, and we also want to say thank you to Project Enable and Stanford Edge. We also want to say a big thank you to Adaba for supporting this event. We want to say a big thank you to Empower UK, who has been supporting us for years now, to WAPA, Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Education. We want to say a very big thank you. And to the local government involved, thank you so much. But the most important thank you goes to all of the girls seated right here today. Today's AC's 18-year anniversary wouldn't have been going this far, wouldn't have gone this far without everyone here and without the girls that support us. And to all the winners, you know this is your induction to the Girls Advisory Board at AC. AC is one unique organization that has decided to make sure that young girls are also part of our decision-making process. And the staff at AC will continue to mentor you and support you as you serve on the Girls Advisory Board. On this note, and on this wonderful day, I want to say thank you to all as we close this event. Have a wonderful rest of the day and a wonderful rest of the year. Let's continue to champion the right to health, economic inclusion, and productivity for women and girls in Nigeria and all over Africa. Thank you.
I'm here as Girl Child Summit 2025, and I participated in the competition. I wrote a story about menstrual health stigma, and I emerged the winner of the competition. I'm very grateful for what AC has done, and I'm very happy as the winner of the competition. I want to encourage all the girls out there so they can also participate in different type of competition, like writing. They can make their voice be heard through writing and doing a lot of type of things. They're going to make their voice be heard in the society.
I emerged one of the winners of the 2025 creative competition. To my surprise, there were a lot of participants, but alhamdulillah, grateful to God, I emerged one of the winners. Thank you to the organizers, thank you to Wema Bank, TVC News, Hasty, and all the amazing sponsors.
Out of over 300 plus people, I got to be the second runner-up. I am so excited, I am so happy. I never expected it, and I am very surprised because I pushed myself to take this opportunity. I never expected it. I am very, very happy. Going forward, I'm going to keep on putting myself out there because I have realized that putting yourself out there lets you have great opportunity. The worst that could happen is that you fail, and the greatest that could happen is that you win, and I have won.
There's a quote I once heard. It says that the people crazy enough to want to change the world are the ones who do. I personally would love to use my voice to amplify and to advocate for change for the girl child, because the girl I am and the change that I am.
Tracy. Thank you, Wema Bank.